Hi there. Guess what? Tonight is a pudding night. Yep, I know. I don't know why it sometimes happens and other times it's sensible savoury. But tonight it is not sensible savoury. It's a pudding night. And it's a really fast pudding night. I used to make this dish all the time when I was, 15, 16, babysitting in our neighbourhood. And you could always guarantee that people would have bananas in the house because that was the only fruit that you could really get in New Zealand back then. Butter, because, well, everyone has butter. Sugar, brown sugar generally you could find. You could do it with white sugar if you needed to. And then there was always some sort of booze in the house. Brandy or rum or whiskey. Now, I was not the babysitter who drank that. I was the babysitter who was making shit with that. Oh, excuse me for the swearing. But you know what I mean? So I would make these caramelized bananas. So I'm going to show you how to make them. They're so easy. Okay, I'm going to angle you down so you can see what's going on in the pan. It has been a while since we've been on such an angle, but there you go. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of butter, maybe slightly more, because I hate it when there's not enough of the caramel syrup around. Into that, that should actually just be melting much more gently, but it's not, never mind. A good heaped tablespoon of brown sugar, I think. That'll do us, maybe a slight little bit more. Okay, so let's just swizzle that around, and we're wanting that to actually form a little bit of a caramel. So try not to stir it, just let it kind of do its thing. And let me tell you, it will do its thing if you just don't stress about it. Now, I've got these cute little finger bananas that a friend grows, yum. So I'm going to do these, and there's a couple of them here. I might even do 3, hard to say really. 3, oops, oh dear, oh well, we'll pick that up next week. Look, you might, I think we might cut these into little bits like that, maybe because I want them to cook all the way through. So sort of cut them in half or on the bias, something like that. That'll be a nice little pile. All right, get that going, that little caramel. Oh, it smells delicious, buttery and sugary. Okay. So once that starts to sort of melt and bubble all on its own and that sugar is dissolving, well, let's pop our little bananas in there. And I sort of want them to cook through but not become really completely soft. That would be not so nice. I've got a little bit of whipped cream here, and I've got some lovely little walnuts too, which are going to go on top. Let's do a little squeeze of lemon juice in there, very old lemon there, but there you go. Just because, and a good decent pinch of salt. Now, the reason I've put a little pinch of salt in there is for that sort of salted caramel bizzo. You don't need to do that. But also, I put a little bit of lemon juice in there. And I would always put that in. Whoops, we're falling over. God. Oh, well, we're back to week 1, isn't it? For goodness sake, would you just balance there? Don't give me a hard time tonight, please. Just stay there. Stay there. Yeah, so I put a little bit of lemon juice in there because you've got sweetness and you've got fat in there in terms of the butter. You really do need something else just to kind of balance that out. So do use that. You could put a little bit of vanilla in here, but as I say, this was based on what I could find in the house while the grown-ups, the parents were away, and I was sneakily making myself a little something. Oh, did I love that? Oh, yes, I did. All right, that's starting to look really sort of soft and sort of caramelly, so in goes my booze. You don't need a lot of the booze, okay? The booze is just to give it that adult taste, frankly. So I'm just going to do a little, what am I going to do? I've got brandy. And I'm just going to put about a tablespoon of that in there. It's not so hot that it's going to flambe, but if you wanted to flame it, then you could wave a match around over top of it, and it'll just caramelize, but I'm just going to cook that alcohol off. Oh, I'm going to show you. It looks so great. Look at that. You fogged up? No. Look at that deliciousness, hey? That is just scrumptious. Yeah. Very nice. Very simple. It's the simple pleasures. So I used to babysit, and when I babysat, I used to watch Hudson and Halls, and then I didn't understand those men. Oh my goodness, what was going on that show? There was things burning, and they were having spats the whole time, but I was sort of vaguely intrigued. And always there was this, here's one I've prepared earlier, and they They always seemed a bit boozed. I don't know if they were or not, but they just seemed to have such a good time in the kitchen, and I'm sure that that's what encouraged me that the kitchen was a fun place to be, was those two wonderful men. All right, so this is good, and God knows if the children woke up when I was babysitting. I loved babysitting when the children were in bed. If any of you are out there now and you're grown up and you were scarred by a babysitter who put you to bed at well, it was very much still daylight and sort of 30 seconds after your parents left the house, I'm sorry. But I enjoyed babysitting because I could watch TV and have rum or brandy bananas, and I could get paid, obviously. We didn't have a TV growing up, so I really loved television. Oh my goodness, it was so great. So, you know, playing with the kids, not really. Time to go to bed, kids. As I say, as the parents were backing out the driveway. Anyway, all right, so these are looking good. Now, the last thing you want to do with a dish like this is taste that syrup, because you will know about it, baby. It is going to be far too hot, so you wouldn't be wanting to do that. It's boiling hot sugar, for goodness sake. All right, I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to dish up. Here are our beautiful bananas. I think we can safely dish those up. Oh, look at that caramel sauce. I could have put a dash of cream in that sauce as well, make it more of a little bit of a butterscotch sauce. Oh, this is quite a lot of bananas for one girl. Oh dear, remember a little while ago when I told you I was a 6 banana? Oh, that's far too much. I'll see how I go. When I said I was a 6 fritter girl, looks like I'm quite a pile of bananas too. That's too many. That is just too many, to be honest with you. Even I know my limits. I'm going to go 4. It's too many. It's too sickly. I don't ever want to be put off this dish. Get that off there. Delicious. Yeah. You never want to eat so much of something that then it doesn't become your favourite. That would be such a shame. Put a little bit of half whipped cream on there. There we go. I think a little spoon to eat this with, and we will be done. Look at that. Yum. I hope you're all really proud of me that I'm not being too greedy tonight. I think that showed great restraint, whipping those other 2 off there. I can't guarantee that they won't end up sort of in my mouth, but anyway, we'll see. Look at this. You need that little crunch of the walnuts. I never had that when I was a teenager. I didn't understand texture. It was just after the sweetness. Those are beautiful. Oh yeah. Make these, you'll love them. They'll brighten up any day, any night. Yeah, they turned bananas into something quite exotic, I think. So there you go. I hope I haven't overshared tonight about my love for babysitting, or the aspects of babysitting. And I hope you're all having a wonderful time edging ever closer to level 2. I'm not struck by the idea, I've got to say. I'm happy. I'm as happy with us. But, you know, we'll see how we go. I know it's not been easy, so I get that. All right, see you everyone. Bye.